Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 28 of the NordCast. It is Monday, June 12th, 2023. I am your host here, Nordic 97, joined here with Just Carter. How are we doing today, Carter?
Hi. I'm doing all right today. Today's been a half decent day, so
I'm not feeling pretty good. No Jack for yet again another episode. It's kind of sad. Jack's been going through some stuff. Nothing but the best of wishes to him. We're not going to specify, but hopefully he's doing okay out there. He also did have his birthday, and he was like on a trip to Boston. So he's been
a busy guy. He's been a busy guy.
He's been living life lately. So
yeah.
All right. Anyways, moving on. So this one will probably be a pretty short one. We won't be here very long because there's not too much going on. There's still a good amount of stuff that's happening, but not a lot is happening as of right now. The Stanley Cup Finals are, of course, going on, and at the time of uploading of this podcast, we could be having a Cup winner that same day. Vegas is currently up 3-1 in the series against Florida. Carter's prediction's not looking too good right now. And the funny thing is, too, is that the Miami Heat, who are the NBA's, who are like in South Florida, same area as Florida, just in the NBA, made it to the finals. Went down 3-1, and I believe they lost, right? They lost Game 5.
They lost to the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic. He's him.
Yeah, so that kind of just makes it not look very good for Florida. It's kind of ironic. They've been following the same path of, they've been both the 8th seed, both knocked off the number 1 team in the league. They make it to the finals. They go down 3-1. Is it possible that could happen again? It's a big question. We'll see if it does. 100%. So, as of right now, do you think that Florida can come back from this? I don't really think so. In that one game with Kachuk, he just didn't look in it. He just looked hurt and injured, and that's definitely not good at all for Florida, having your top player out. And Bobrovsky, he's looked all right. This series has been very physical, a lot of penalties, but it just seems like Vegas has found a way to beat Bobrovsky and has the upper hand here. So do you think that Florida can come back in this?
Definitely. I think we can't necessarily count Florida out of anything after what they've gone through. They went down 3-1 to Boston. We didn't think they were coming back at all, and they still did. So, quite honestly, I don't think Florida's a team that we can count out of this series. I think all it's going to take is one game to get the ball rolling, just like it did in the first round. So we'll have to see there. Bobrovsky, he has not looked like himself so far, but that's okay. I think he'll be able to bounce back, but they got to get some of their they got to get Kachuk involved a little bit more here. He's been having a quiet playoff except for that one goal there where he
tied it with just a little under 2 minutes remaining. I feel like there's definitely something going on with Kachuk. There's definitely some kind of injury because in Game 4 he sat pretty much the entire third period. So if you're Florida there, you're going to hope that with this day break that they had, you're going to hope that Kachuk has gotten some time to rest himself a little bit here, and hopefully he'll be able to play in Game 5 tomorrow. It's going to be interesting, 100%, because I do think that, I think Vegas closes it out. I don't think Florida comes back in this series, but then again, I think we both thought the same thing about Boston, but look what happened. So we're not going to count out Florida just yet. However, it does seem like it's Vegas' series right now. They seem to have the upper hand throughout the entire course of the series. So overall, I just think it's going to be Vegas' series to close out, honestly. Mm-hmm. Now, I think we talked about this in our last episode, but who's our Conn Smythe winner going to be if Vegas wins it? There's actually quite a discussion here when you think about it.
I think that there's a solid 3 guys there that we're all thinking of. That's Adin Hill, that's Jack Eichel, and that's Jonathan Marchessault. Right now, my pick, I think, is going to be Jonathan Marchessault.
Yeah.
I think that's my pick, but I will be honest, I think Marchessault or Adin Hill are my 2 that I would most want.
Yeah. I mean, Eichel, he's had a pretty good story. It wouldn't surprise me if he actually got it, but I feel like it's Marchessault's Conn Smythe. I don't know. It feels like in previous years, it's been like, oh, no debate who's going to win the Conn Smythe. Like last year was Cale Makar, no question. The year before, Vasilevsky. Like this year, I feel like there is some kind of debate because Vegas, there hasn't been one player that has just been, so much better than everybody else. Florida's been Tkachuk or Bobrovsky. Of course, it would be one of those two. Whoever would win the Conn Smythe if it was Florida. But with Vegas, it feels like it's been more of a team effort than it has been in previous years. Not to say that like in previous years the team wasn't carried by one player, but it just feels like everybody's playing at the same level in Vegas. Unlike Florida, where you just have Tkachuk and Bobrovsky kind of. Now, I don't want to say carrying the team, but they're
leading the way.
What?
Leading the way.
Yeah, they're leading the way. It just feels like Vegas has much more. But yeah, I feel like it's probably going to be Marchessault. If Hill won it, I'd be shocked. Hill didn't play the entire playoffs. As much as he was good through a lot of stretches, I don't really see him being a Conn Smythe winner, if that makes any sense. That sounds kind of weird, but I can't see it. But yeah, I think it's down to Eichel or Marchessault. I think Marchessault gets it. Yeah. That it on the finals? Any other thoughts on the Stanley Cup Finals?
Well, I don't know. I guess we can kind of talk about like the outrageous amount of penalties that we have seen.
Oh yeah,
in this Cup final. There has been a lot, especially at the end of Game 4. There was a massive scrum right there, right near the end. Huge scrum. A lot of penalties in that one. I think that game ended with like 37 extra penalty minutes or something like that.
Yeah. These are two teams that definitely don't like each other, especially like in Game 2 and Game 4 was where it was very noticeable. Game 2, of course, was insane. I think there was like 148 penalty minutes throughout the entire game. That's wild. It goes to show that like these two teams really don't like each other. And that's not a surprise, really. We knew these two teams were going into this. They're going to play with all their heart. They're going to give it their all to try and win a cup. And honestly, it's been a pretty fun Cup Finals. Actually, I haven't been able to watch it, really. I haven't had the time to. Most of these games I've been working. So, like, I just haven't had time to watch it, which is kind of weird. But I will be watching Game 5 tomorrow.
That's good.
So, yeah, we'll see. But
yeah, now that you mention it, I think I caught the start of Game 3. I think
I watched Game 1 and Game
2.
I watched Game 1 and part of Game 2, but I haven't watched the rest.
Yeah, I've been like busy every other day. Like I've either had something or I've just like forgotten about it. But usually I had something or I'm out at my lake and I can't watch it. But
yeah. Kind of a weird Cup Finals this year, honestly. It feels much weirder than previous years, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Probably because it's like two southern markets, and two teams that haven't won it at all. And that's the other thing too. One of the things that I saw was that the numbers are up way higher than previous years. It's the highest number since 2018. These Cup Finals, like TV wise, and that's no surprise. Like when you get teams that don't win, that have never won a Stanley Cup, get in the finals, two teams at that, you're going to get a lot of traction, especially from like fan bases that have, Florida and Vegas. I mean, Florida's been around for a pretty decently long time. Vegas has been around for 6 years, but they've established themselves pretty well. Of course, the viewership's going to be good, and it's good for the game. I don't know why people were saying that, southern markets, it's bad for the game. It's not going to be good TV ratings. Not true at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got any more thoughts on the Cup Finals? I'm going to let you. I know you got something you want to talk about next, so.
Next, yeah. Quite honestly, no, but I just don't want Vegas to win, but I feel like right now it feels inevitable, but hey, I said the same thing about Florida and Boston, so.
Yeah, we could be going back to this podcast and seeing how dumb you were. Sorry, Carter.
Hey, it's okay, because I said Florida at first, but I still think Florida can pull it out.
Fair. All right, we're going to talk about what you want to talk about. So the Winnipeg Jets have made some more news, and we've talked about Winnipeg a few times on here, but it looks like there were rumors surrounding the fact that they were probably going to be moving a lot of guys out, but now it's been pretty much confirmed. Pierre-Luc Dubois, Mark Scheifele, and Connor Hellebuck apparently have no interest in signing with the Winnipeg Jets and will likely be traded not during the regular season, this offseason. So I'm going to hand it over to Carter, and I just want to know your thoughts overall on what the overall state of the Jets is, and what would you want in return for these guys?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go down the list from least surprising to most surprising. So starting off with least surprising, Pierre-Luc Dubois. I'm in so much pain to see him go. He was honestly one of my favorite players. I just love how he played the game. Like, Pierre-Luc Dubois is that guy that you want on your roster. He's skilled, he's fast, he's great with the puck, he's got great hands, he's got a great shot, but most importantly, he's physical. Like, that's why Matthew Tkachuk's so good, is he's physical. And not a lot of all-stars now play a physical game. So it does suck to see Pierre-Luc Dubois go. I know that he's going to end up going to Montreal at some point, but our good friend of the podcast there, Michael Bartner, posted a TikTok talking about Pierre-Luc Dubois, and I actually thought he brought up some great points, how someone should use Pierre-Luc Dubois as a one-year rental. Because if you think about it, and this actually made so much sense, why would Montreal give up a lot of assets to get Pierre-Luc Dubois when they could probably just get him for free in a couple of seasons when he's a UFA?
Yeah, exactly.
They'll have to give up jack shit to get him, but they'd have to give up a lot if they wanted to get him now. But right now, the Jets don't have a whole lot of leverage on him, just because everyone knows he wants out. So at most, we'll probably just end up getting a first-round pick and some prospect or something good, bad, who knows. But yeah, honestly, I do like Bartner's take on how Dubois could be a one-year rental, but you could also see him going to somewhere else, and maybe he does end up thriving and staying there. He could go to a younger team. Maybe we could see him in Buffalo or somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, I think Pierre-Luc Dubois is definitely on the move, and yeah, it sucks to lose him though, but it was not surprising to say the least.
Yeah, Dubois. We've known this for a year.
Yeah,
I think a year. We knew that he wanted to go to Montreal. I don't know why, but he just expressed it to Winnipeg. He went around and flexed it like he was in high school. He's I want to go to Montreal. I'm gonna go to Montreal when I'm no longer in Winnipeg. I'm gonna be in Montreal. It's okay. I'm gonna be in Montreal in a few years.
I'm gonna be a Canadian, guys. I'm gonna be a Canadian. Well, he is French, so it does make sense.
It'd be funny if and I've said this a few times when we talked about Dubois on the podcast, because this is definitely not the first time we've talked about him. But I said it, imagine if Montreal is just nah, we don't want him. We don't want this guy on our team. That would, what would he do then, huh?
That would crush him, and he would turn into the greatest player against Montreal every single game.
Now that would also, I also did see a few weeks ago he did submit a few other teams he wouldn't mind playing for.
I'm not sure which ones it is, but I think it's either Contender or Montreal.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. Dubois is a weird one for me.
Yeah.
What about who's your next one?
All right, so I think my next one would probably be Connor Hellebuck. I think as far as from surprising and least surprising, because he expressed it right away that he was not willing to be part of a rebuilder. He's in his prime. You're not trying to waste his prime years in Winnipeg if we're going to be going through a rebuild. So, quite honestly, it's going to suck. It's going to suck because we're losing an all-star goaltender, probably one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League, who's been in the Vezina for, I think, 4 out of the last 8 years or 4 out of the last 6, one of the two stats like that, which is very impressive for a goaltender. But right. he's just been amazing, pretty much his entire starting career here, because he was a backup for us for the longest time. But I really do love Connor Hellebuck. I actually have his bobblehead right behind me. I think it's that one there. So it's gonna suck to see him leave. But I actually think I have a Scheifele one there too. The only bobblehead that I'm gonna have standing is Nikolai Ehlers.
Oh man,
he's gonna be so alone. Oh well, but anyways,
the new ones like Cole Perfetti maybe.
Yeah,
And then watch, he's gonna get traded.
Well, man, their bobblehead this year was Kyle Connor. Man, he could be on the move too.
Oh no! Are you gonna get a Carter Hart one too? Is he gonna? Yeah.
Dude, I'm out on buying merchandise right now because I'm like, bro, every single player in my team is getting traded. The only merchandise I'll be getting from my favorite teams will probably just end up being the Eagles, man. But
that's pretty valid. But the Eagles are not. Yeah, hey, they made the Super Bowl, so whatever.
Yeah.
Hellebuck with me is interesting because when I saw that he didn't want to stay, I was actually pretty shocked. I'm kind of wondering, where is the destination that he could go? I know there's a few, but honestly, where's there a destination where there's a team willing to pay the price for a goalie? I'm kind of wondering that. Is Ottawa in the talks? I feel
Ottawa would probably be one, but I feel like Hellebuck would want to play in a more American market as an American.
Yeah, probably. That's what I was thinking. Where is he from?
I think he's from Texas.
Oh, Jesus. He's going to Dallas.
No, he's not going to Dallas, bro. They got Ottinger.
Ottinger and Hellebuck tandem.
Hold on. We've been talking about expansions. Houston gets a team. Hellebuck, expansion draft to Houston. I solved it. There we go.
No. For a second, I thought you meant relocate Arizona. Okay, now that we got on the same page.
Oh yeah. No. That's what I meant. Not
relocation draft. What that a thing?
Sorry, I meant
relocation draft is not a thing, blood.
Yeah, I know, but I said expansion, but I meant relocation, and then when I said
you think you're funny. You're not funny, pal. You just think you're that funny guy. You're not.
You've had more mess ups than me. I don't want to hear it.
That's such cap. I have not had any mess ups whatsoever.
A Chili's.
A Chili's. Hellebuck. Honestly, what I'm thinking with Connor is, I feel like it is going to be an American market most likely. I don't think he would want to stay in Canada. As for what American market, I really can't tell you. I can't think of a team right now that
LA.
LA maybe.
Because they don't really have a set in stone top starter goaltender.
Who would LA give up though? That's the question.
I don't know. They can't give up Peterson because he's already in Philly.
Yeah, we'll talk about that trade in a little bit. I actually forgot about that. We should talk about that.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to have to talk about that. God. I feel like LA wouldn't be a bad one because I feel like they're on they need that goaltending piece to be able to go on a cup run. But they did just get Korpisalo, so... Right?
I got no idea, man. I don't know.
I don't know. Hellebuck's a weird one where I could see Hellebuck in so many different places, but none at the same time.
Yeah, move on to Scheifele.
All right. So Mark Scheifele, to be honest, Mark Scheifele wasn't that surprising to me, but he also was because I didn't expect him to leave. I honestly thought that he would be a Jet for the rest of his career. I fully expected that, and I was happy because I like Mark Scheifele. I think he's a solid two-way player. He's able to score. He passes really well, but at the same time, he also does make dumb mistakes. But hey,
Jake Evans.
Screw you.
But anyways, I like Mark Scheifele. I love him as a player, but he was going to be our captain, man. Blake Wheeler was going to go. Mark Scheifele was going to be our captain. That was the Paul Maurice era. That was what was going to happen. That was the plan that could not fail. Mark Scheifele was going to be a Jet forever. He was going to be the captain once Wheeler retired and once we shipped him off the Guangdong Tigers and the Shanghai Sharks. I don't care.
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
But anyways, Mark Scheifele is one that I think will actually definitely kind of sting because I do love Mark Scheifele as a hockey player for sure. But as far as where he could go, I have no idea.
Him not being in Winnipeg is going to feel strange.
It is because Mark Scheifele was our first pick in the 2011. Our first NHL draft pick was Mark Scheifele, and he's going bye-bye.
Is it really?
Yeah, he was our first draft pick in 2011.
I didn't know that. Wow. But yeah, like Scheifele's a weird one for me. I feel like there's a lot of teams that would want a top six forward like him. He brings physicality, he brings offense. I don't know about him being traded this off season, but I could see him being like a rental. You know what I feel like? You know what I was actually thinking? What if we see not involving Calgary or Florida, but what if we see a similar thing, a big blockbuster deal with another team, like the Matthew Tkachuk, Jonathan Huberdeau blockbuster deal? How would you feel about that, depending on what team it would be? How would you feel if we just made that big trade?
What do you mean with Mark Scheifele?
Like let's say you put Scheifele and Dubois or Scheifele, Hellebuck, or something like that in a big package. You ship it off to another team, and you get someone else back in return. How would you feel about that?
I would not feel that opposed to that because I think we're giving up 2 all-star caliber players. We definitely get some picks. We definitely get some good prospects too. But, I mean, I think we'd have to take both of them on 50% retain. And I think doing so with that, like, that's still solid. Like, $4 million for Mark Scheifele, huge. And I think if maybe, I don't know what Hellebuck's contract is. We can call it $4 million. Maybe it's $6 million. Or $4 million. Maybe it's $3 million if you take it 50% retained. But getting both those guys for sub 10 would be drastic for your team.
Like 2 for the price of 1, basically.
Yeah. Like you'd basically be getting like 2 players that would, like for 10 mil, like 2 players, like that's solid, especially for 2 all-star players. So
yeah,
I think if we did,
it would depend on what you're getting back in return, though. I'm trying to think of like someone like from another team who's like younger, who doesn't, like a Matthew Tkachuk type player.
Logan Cooley.
No. Well, Cooley hasn't played in the NHL yet. That's the thing.
I know.
Tkachuk had some establishment with him.
Yeah, if we're talking player like Tkachuk, like I think we'd have to look for a Canadian who's playing in an American market that just put up a pretty solid season.
Crap. I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
Tage Thompson.
I would not be opposed to Tage Thompson.
You wouldn't be opposed? Really?
I would not be opposed to Tage Thompson, but I think we'd actually have to give. No, actually no, because we're giving them Connor Hellebuck.
Huh. Okay.
Because if we were doing like Connor Hellebuck, Mark Scheifele for Tage Thompson, actually, you know what? No, give us Dylan Cousins. No. You
wouldn't get. I don't. Why are we even talking about this? This is.
I don't know. This is just crappy trade discussions.
Dumb trade discussions with us. Oh my god! All right.
For Bedard.
We got anything else for Bedard? Oh, you're just saying that because Jack isn't in here, huh? So you just say no.
If he was here, he would be throwing hands.
Jack would absolutely say no. There's no way I'm trading Bedard or the first overall pick for.
I don't know. All-star goalies hard to come by.
Yeah, I guess all-star goalies are hard to come by. You're right, but Scheifele for Bedard.
Okay, fine. We'll throw in Pierre-Luc Dubois. Done.
Okay, we're done talking about this. Anyway, moving on now. We're going to talk about, and I'm just going to kind of make up some topics here. We're going to talk about Columbus, because Columbus has been making some headlines lately. And what is going on with Columbus? So I'm going to go through everything first, and then I want to know your thoughts, Carter. So reportedly on June 3rd, it looked like the Blue Jackets were close to hiring Mike Babcock as the club's new head coach. This is speculation, though.
He was hired.
The delay of the what?
Wasn't he hired?
He was not officially hired.
Oh.
Not yet. The delay of this announcement coincides with the pending expiration of his contract with the Maple Leafs. That's the first thing. Next thing, they made a trade with the Philadelphia Flyers and the LA Kings, where they acquired Ivan Provorov with 30% salary retained by Los Angeles. LA got Hayden Hodgson and Kevin Connaughton. And Philadelphia, God bless them, they got a 2023 first, a 2024-25 conditional second. They got a 2024 second, Sean Walker, Cal Peterson, and Helge Grands. All I'm going to say about that deal is a common Danny Briere W. Next one they made was a sign and trade with the New Jersey Devils, where they acquired defenseman Damon Severson who they signed to an 8-year, $6.25 million contract in exchange for a third-round pick. All right, let's start off with the Mike Babcock stuff. What are your thoughts on the Babcock crap? Is it a good move or is it a bad move?
I think Patrick Laine is going to have a lot to say about this.
I actually do agree with you. I feel like, and the thing is, this is the type of coach that's going to make Patrick Laine literally hate hockey.
Well, man, he was on the edge with Tortorella, and you basically went Tortorella to their other coach to
Larson, who was just the coach to coach him through the rebuild.
Yeah,
and now you're going to go to this guy,
and then you went
players,
and then you went with a slightly worse but not as harsh Tortorella.
I would say slightly worse. Babcock abused a player one time.
And that's why I said worse.
And as well as that too, he also wouldn't play Matthews with Marner. So what I'm thinking here is on a team full of young guys and a team that has a third overall pick. Did you just hurt yourself?
Yeah, I cracked my finger and it hurt really bad.
Well, a team like Columbus, who has so many young players, a team who has the third overall pick in this year's draft, why would you bring in some old fart like Mike Babcock, who hasn't coached since 2019? Bring in a new guy. Bring in your guy from the AHL.
Yeah.
Get an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Like what?
Hire me. Sorry.
Hire me for the love of God. Babcock.
Hire me. You can be my assistant.
Exactly. Babcock is such a horrible hiring. It's not even funny.
He doesn't fit that Columbus team.
He doesn't fit the Columbus-esque.
He doesn't fit the Ohio-esque.
That definitely doesn't. Moving on to the trade with the Ivan Provorov deal. We're both Flyers fans. I like this deal for Philadelphia. We get draft picks. And for someone who has been calling for that for 3 years, feels amazing to finally have some draft picks.
We didn't trade our first for Rasmus Ristolainen this time.
So
yes.
We not only do we have one first, we have two first. We can get more.
And you know what? And then we could have 2 seconds next year.
Oh my God.
The days are over. Briere's our savior.
Oh my God.
I actually love this deal as a Flyers fan. Oh my God.
We get that fucking contract out of here. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Turnover.
Hold on. We did take Cal Peterson's contract, but that is okay.
No, I don't mind that because
I don't either. I think Cal Peterson could have bounced back, and if not, he will definitely help us get a good draft pick in this fucking rebuild.
Yeah, and as well as that too, you're taking on a goalie who had a bad situation in Los Angeles. He had Jonathan Quick above him at points. He had Korpisalo above him at points. Bring in Cal Peterson, give him a new change of scenery. Maybe he could flourish. But that probably means, though, that Hellebuck could be gone.
You mean Hart. Wrong team.
Hart. Apologies. That means Hart could be gone. My apologies.
I mean, he was instantly rumored, as soon as the trade broke, he was instantly rumored to be shopped.
Before that deal was even finalized, they were rumoring that they were moving Carter Hart. I was like, no way they move Hart to Columbus. No way.
No, Hart was not going.
3 first and Cole Sillinger.
Kent Johnson.
It's a good one.
Thank you.
But yeah, overall, I like the deal for Philadelphia a lot. LA, although they didn't get player, they cleared up cap space. They got the re-signed Gavrikov, so good move for them. LA for me,
oh my gosh! And you said, and this proves my point of you messed up more than me.
Shut up, buddy. Columbus. Why?
I don't get this.
Why?
What is? I said this to the group chat. I'm like, what are they building in there?
No. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong with Provorov. Look, this guy can score some nifty ass overtime goals. I can name you 5 different overtime goals this guy has scored. The game in the final, the one in Taze's last game against Chicago in the final game,
absolutely heartbreaking
goal. The one against the Montreal Canadiens a few years back. The one against the Islanders in Game 6 of the 2020 playoffs. He had one or two against San Jose. Like, this guy's just this guy's just an overtime hero.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, a lot of the time when Philadelphia would be in overtime, I would pick Provorov to win it at OT.
Yeah.
But
I feel like Provorov, like at least as Flyers fans, we overhate on him like a lot.
He fucking sucks defensively. He
is not a very good defensive defenseman. He's don't get me wrong, great offensive defenseman, terrible defensive defenseman.
Like, he's really not what Columbus is looking for, honestly. No. I didn't really understand it. I was like, seriously? I was like, okay, get that deal out of here, thank you. But
I was like, we got the 3rd overall pick for Ivan Provorov? What?
Dude, imagine.
I know, dude. I didn't realize that they had their first overall, like LA's first overall pick. I was like, oh my gosh, we did not just get the 3rd overall pick. I was actually gonna lose my mind. I was like, oh my god, we'll get Leo Carlsson or Michkov.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Leo Carlsson, man. Holy
God, that would have been nuts.
He actually knows Michael Bartner too. Did you know that? Like, him
Leo?
and Bartner are close. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. You should ask Bartner about that. They're really close.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so Provorov, he's horrible defensively. And the funny thing is, I used to call him Mr. Turnover a lot. I've called him that in a few YouTube videos. I don't know if I called him that in a podcast, but I definitely called him Mr. Turnover a few times. So yeah, Provorov, I'm glad that he's gone. He's scored some nice OT winners, so I'll cherish those forever, but I'm kind of happy he's gone. And then the last thing here, the Damon Severson sign and trade. I feel like he's overhated by most Devils fans. I think he is an all-right defender. I like this deal more than the Provorov trade, but it's still a little bit confusing. I'm not sure what they're trying to build there on that blue line, but hey, if it works,
they're doing like the Chuck Fletcher rebuild, where you go into a rebuild, you get a high draft pick, somewhat high draft pick, at least if you're a Flyers fan, and if you're Columbus, you get a high draft pick. But they're just building a defensive core for no reason.
Actually, no. You know what? Chuck Fletcher never focused on defense.
That's actually true. I guess that does make sense because he did get Ristolainen.
Oh, that shit never made sense to me at all. Oh my god! I wish I had a podcast from the moment I started YouTube to now, because there would be so many episodes where I would just come on here and just rant about Philadelphia's defense, or just rant about Chuck Fletcher or any of the trades that they make. Oh my god, the Ristolainen deal.
You'd have a 2-hour-long episode just ranting about Chuck Fletcher.
Oh yeah.
So Chuck Fletcher just made another stupid move. You could clearly make a full podcast for every. You could probably do a full 3-season podcast.
Me in 2021, I would have made fucking 3-hour episodes. Just me ranting about Chuck Fletcher. Oh my god, that guy would would fry my brain so much. And I just watch Philadelphia and I just get so angry. Like, I remember, if I had a podcast when we lost 9-0 to the Rangers, I would have probably quit. That was
quite honestly, I'd be hanging from the ceiling.
That was horrific. That year was. Oh, and then remember when we lost to Buffalo after they lost 17 straight games?
Oh yeah, that was one of my first TikToks I ever posted.
I was so done. I was so done with them.
I was like,
no way, we just lost to Philadelphia. We just lost to Buffalo.
I know. I was like, that was one of my first TikToks I ever made. And I just said, congratulations, Buffalo, your streak's over. And I was like, fuck.
I forget how long it was. I think it was around 17. I remember they lost a few in OT and extra time, and then they lost, and then they fucking beat Philly, and I'm like, there's no way. And I came into that game thinking to myself too, I feel like this is the game where we lose, and what do you know, we lost. But anyways, back to Columbus. We veered off course. We could just talk about
it. It was 18. It was 18.
It was 18. Yeah. I remember that day very well. I actually cried. I was that sad. I was that mad about it. But yeah, Severson, don't understand it. But hey, when we come back here in a few weeks or a few months and we see that they had a really good defense this season or this next coming season, then hey, God bless him.
Yeah.
Other news. Cole Caulfield has signed an 8-year, $7.85 million extension. Really good deal, in my opinion. Carter is raising his hands up in the air right now.
Love Cole Caulfield.
I think it's a great deal. I don't know why people were hating on it too much. I think it's a really good trade or signing. Sorry,
he's done it again. He keeps messing up.
They traded.
He's rattled.
It's midnight, bro. It's midnight, and I just came from work. So give me a break.
Okay, well, it's 11 o'clock, and I didn't come from work, but
okay, all right. But yeah, Cole Caulfield, 8 years, 7.85. They got him below 8 years. He's going to score 50 next year. No question. Great contract.
Yep. Thank you. That was my take for this year until he got injured. So I think he does it next year.
The Ducks hired Greg Cronin as their head coach. Don't mind it. They recycled it. Or they didn't recycle another coach. This guy's been coaching for the NCAA, the U.S. National Development Program, and the NHL and the AHL. He's been with the Colorado Eagles for the last 5 years. So we'll see how he does. He has experience with young guys. And for a young team like Anaheim, I do think it is overall a pretty good move.
Yeah, I'm surprised this didn't like take a lot longer for them to figure out because like you got to go through 300 candidates. Like, I was expecting like he'd be hired like November.
Yeah, I agree. Carter Hart, and we brought this up a little bit earlier, but I want to bring it up again. It looks like the Flyers are working on a deal with Carter Hart. So now that we go to full Philadelphia talk, even though we were just ranting about Philadelphia, I just want to say that I am so much more confident in Philadelphia's management than I have been in many years and before. 100%. Like since like I started being a hockey fan, that's like the last time that I've just been so confident. So Carter Hart, do I think they'll trade Carter Hart? Probably not soon though. I don't think they trade him soon. Why? Mainly because of like when you look at it, like they got the Canada situation right now. They got the Hockey Canada allegations. I think they would want to figure that out first before they would exactly go after and trade Hart, which I think is what a lot of teams are going to think about. They're going to be a little bit hesitant. But as well as that too, I've had my mixed thoughts on it. I honestly do think that like if you want to keep him, it wouldn't be bad to keep him because look, he's a goalie that you don't come by elite goalies like Carter Hart often. He's an elite goalie.
Especially at 24 years old.
Yeah, people don't pay attention to it because we're Philadelphia and we suck this year, but Hart had a really good season. Hart had a pretty good year for a team that was, like bottom 10, bottom 5 in the league. He had a really good season. So I think I'm going to want a lot back in return for him, but I don't think we should trade him just yet. But if we get the chance, if we get the right offer, I think we should. But it feels weird with Carter Hart not being on this team.
Yeah, no, 100%. He was, quite honestly, he was a big reason as to why we were like really good that one, like the bubble year. Like we were really good that year.
Yeah.
And most of the credit comes down to Carter Hart. Like he was
in that Game 7. I remember watching that. Carried us.
He is the main reason why we haven't been like super crappy. Quite honestly, it's gonna suck to see him leave. Carter Hart was he's definitely my favorite player, and you can say it's because his name's Carter too, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love Carter Hart. I love Heartsy, but I think what we're gonna get in return is gonna be massive because we are at a goalie who is already elite, who is 24 years old, approaching his prime. Like the haul that we will get in return for Carter Hart. Huh?
Bigger return than Hellebuck?
Ooh. Possible. Maybe not, because Hellebuck might be a little bit more proven, but Hart is also younger and could have more potential.
I think so. I think they would go for it because they've seen what Hart can do on a bad team. Imagine what he could be on a good team. But then again, I just thought about John Gibson. You got to factor John Gibson in there too. So like
that's true. There's a lot of goalies on the market this year.
There's gonna be a lot of goalies being moved this offseason.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of goalies on the market. And also a team we haven't. Well, we did kind of talk about, but Vegas's goalie situation. Like one of those goalies is going to be on the move because you can't keep Brossois, Leonard, Logan Thompson, and Aiden Hill. 2 of those goalies are going to be gone. So there's and quick, yeah.
5 goalies right
there. That's 5 goalies that are going to be on the market this year.
I don't think Leonard comes back. I think Leonard's done, so that's just how
Yeah.
I feel. I think Aiden Hill's gonna get paid.
Oh yeah. No, Aiden Hill's gonna get paid.
I think Thompson will too. Brassois,
But
honestly, I think all three of those guys could get paid.
Thompson is not a free agent though. He's got 2 more years.
Oh, you're right. Brassois is Brassois though.
I think Brassois is like their backup. I think he's like only on like rental deals.
Yeah, so those two guys are gonna get. They're gonna get paid. So
no, they proved themselves in the playoffs. So like they'll get a bag. Like there's actually like honestly, this is not a bad time for the goalie market for sure.
Yeah. I think a lot of teams that are looking for goalies right now are going to get a goalie this offseason. I think this is going to be a pretty busy offseason.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And honestly, I don't really know with Carter Hart. Moving on, the Kings, as we mentioned, signed Vladislav Gavrikov to a 2-year, $5.875 million contract. Great deal for Gavrikov, really solid defenseman. I like that a lot. Some Chicago news. Unfortunately, Jack cannot be here to join us with this, but Darren Pang will be joining Chicago's TV booth. He's leaving from St. Louis to Chicago, which is kind of funny. He's leaving to one of their bitter rivals. As well as that, too, Columbus. Chicago re-signed Andreas Athanasiou to a 2-year, $4.25 million deal. I like this move a lot. I think Jack would agree. He's a really good forward. He's been dynamic for Chicago for sure. The Calgary Flames hired Ryan Huska as a brand new head coach. Huska, of course, was the assistant coach for a long time in Calgary. He's been in the organization for damn near a decade. So it's a good thing he's finally getting a job here as, Calgary's brand new head coach. Apostolopoulos. Steve Apostolopoulos. Take that name into consideration. He backs out of the $1 billion bid for the Senators. I have heard, though, that the deal is closed, but it's going to take a few days to figure that out. But still, right now, there's only 2 left between the Michael and Lowers group and the Kimmels plus Weekend group. So there's just weird.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing. I don't really understand it. Draft Combine. Let's talk about that a little bit. So some of the official results, the Arabic Fitness. What the fuck? The Arabic Fitness Test Duration. So who got first in that? Jacob Torney with 13 minutes and 48 seconds. Second was Jacob Dvorak with 13 minutes and 20 seconds. What are these? Wait a minute. Sorry, I didn't even need to read that.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't pay attention to the combine.
I was going to read a few of these. Body fat percentage, Oscar Fisher mole guard, 6.6. I don't even see any of the big name guys here.
Yeah. So in at least the NHL, not a lot of the big name guys are actually like top in the combine.
Left hand grip?
It's like grip strength.
Pull-ups. Oh, consecutive pull-ups. Nick Lardis, 15. Connor Bedard, 14. I could do more than that. Sorry.
Can you?
Yeah, I could. Okay, I can. Anyways. Leo Carlson made some headlines saying when he was asked about what he knows about Columbus, he said, quote, "I know where it is on a map." That's fun.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. At least you know where it is.
I don't.
That's a start. Hey, when people were coming to Philadelphia back in the 60s, they didn't know where Philly was. I think you know where Columbus is, Leo.
I don't know where Columbus is.
But you don't know where Columbus is?
I don't pay attention.
It's in your favorite state.
Winnipeg?
Winnipeg is not a state.
I know roughly where Ohio is, okay?
You did not just say that to me. Winnipeg is not in a state, blood.
Yeah, I know.
All right. We'll read some rumor type stuff. These actually just got released today. There are some teams that really think the Kings will take a big run at Pierre-Luc Dubois this offseason. How do you feel about that? Kings, Dubois. We were talking about Kings Hellebuck. Yeah, Kings.
Well, that is actually kind of cool that we did say Hellebuck to the Kings. Hellebuck and Dubois to the Kings. Get Quentin Byfield in return.
Oh, as well as this too, the Kings are among teams curious on Tom Wilson's future. They want Tom Wilson?
What are they? I said this with Columbus. What is LA trying to build?
What? Hellebuck has no interest in re-signing Winnipeg. His contract, we knew that. There has been a lot of interest in Scott Laughton, including Ottawa. Flyers have previously rejected offers of a late first. We could have gotten a first for Laughton.
Yeah, because of his IHF performance.
Oh, you're right, but a first.
I know. Could you imagine another first? Another first. The number 3 pick. He's going to Ohio.
We would have had 3 first-round picks.
Okay, no, but hold on. Let Danny B cook. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I agree. The Oilers have kicked tires on Travis Konechny. There have been decent interest. Broberg's name has been tossed around. Edmonton. Feels weird because honestly, I saw a TikTok today about Konechny. I don't think Edmonton would need Konechny. Would they want Konechny? Probably, but I don't think they need him. I feel like they need defense. D'Angelo.
Yeah, they already have a guy.
You want D'Angelo?
Ristolainen? You want Ristolainen?
You want Risto? Sanheim?
Well, hey, we got an extra first. We'll give you Risto and a first. Just take them.
Honestly, that 22nd overall pick and Risto to Edmonton, honestly.
No, I don't care. I will sacrifice the time with Risto. We keep that 22nd pick.
Yeah, we got to keep draft picks. Unless if it was like, oh my god, imagine if we traded him at the draft for that with that 22nd pick. I would lose my shit. I feel like Briere is gonna make moves at the draft.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Canucks are actively checking prices to move Connor Garland. Arizona will gladly take him back. I love Connor Garland. I miss him so much.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if the Devils trade Wood and Graves' rights before July 1st. Victor Olofsson did not request a trade, but player and his camp are expecting him to be dealt by Buffalo this summer. So Olofsson is likely on his way out. Isles GM Lou Lamoriello indicated Josh Bailey could be moved. They also like UFAs Engvall, Mayfield, and Varlamov back. And that is all I got for you. So yeah.
I got one thing. As far as rumors go.
What is it?
Michkov is sliding on teams' draft boards.
We did not talk about that. You're right.
Now, listen. I'm not trying to say anything, but Michkov at 7 would be kind of nice.
I don't know about that. Actually, yeah. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be weird.
Thank you. I would gladly take Michkov.
That'd be so weird, though. I feel so. I would feel so weird from the drop to 7.
It would. Because here's the thing. I don't see him dropping out of the top 6. I think if he does, Arizona will sweep him up. But they kind of have most of their prospects ready to go.
Did you see Craig Button's one? Craig Button's list?
I did. He had Michkov at 4, I thought.
Did you see this? Connor Bedard 1, Adam Fantilli 2, Leo Carlson 3, Michkov 4, Sandin Pellikka at 5th, Will Smith at 6th. Will Smith drops to 6th with Arizona. Serious?
Oh yeah, because he had Montreal taking a defenseman.
Yeah, I would take even if Will Smith dropped to 7th.
Dude,
I'm taking Will Smith and running.
Will Smith would be such a good pick. Oh my god.
Because first off, his name is Will Smith, and I would love to have Will Smith on my team because Will Smith.
I would love the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I love the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That would be so. Oh my god. Match made it happen, please.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Bro, it's Will Smith the Philly.
Please.
It just fits too perfectly.
Fresh Prince, that would be awesome. Oh, I can only imagine all the memes.
God, they would go nuts.
Please trade up in the draft or pray that he drops. Oh man, I would lose my mind.
That'd be awesome. This podcast has just turned into Flyers talk today.
But yeah, Michkov, honestly, That would be awesome, though. Like, oh my god.
Quite honestly, the Flyers are in a pretty solid spot. Like, it'd be nice if we were, like, higher up, because then, like, honestly, I feel like if we were in 5, I think we'd be in prime spot, because I think no matter what, we'd be getting Will Smith or Michkov.
Oh, like, yeah, for sure.
Like, 5, I think, is the perfect spot, because you'll get one of those two guys. But who knows? Maybe Will Smith and Michkov both fall out of the top 5, and we still end up with one of them. Which is definitely possible.
I think it's possible. I don't know. There's been so much speculation on this draft, it's been weird. But I really freaking hope that, like, I'm actually praying on it now that Will Smith drops to 7. Imagine.
I think, honestly,
Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yeah, quite honestly, I feel like I know last year's draft was weird because like everyone had like Shane Wright going 1, and if not, he was going to go 2, and no one predicted him to go to 4, right? So, quite honestly, like I think outside of the top 3, the rest of this draft could go any way. There's so many like solid players that you could take.
Yeah, I feel like at least one of those guys is going to drop between Michkov, Smith, and either Benson or Dvorsky. I feel like one of those guys is going to drop.
Benson, I will be honest, Benson I think is going to drop a lot more than
Benson way lower on people's rankings now than I did a few months ago. He's dropped.
Yeah, because people like saw his height. He's like not even 5'10".
Yeah, that's definitely a factor. But
yeah, but I will be honest though, he is nasty.
Isn't he on the ice? He is on the ice. You've seen him play before, haven't you?
I have. He is really gross. Yeah. I love Benson. Have him drop to 22. Michkov, Zach Benson, sweep it up, call it.
And then we trade Hellebuck, or we trade Hellebuck. We make a trade with Winnipeg. We get Hellebuck. Then we trade Hellebuck to Montreal for the 5th pick. Then we get Will Smith. Great move. You're looking at me like I'm dumb.
No. I'm looking at you like Montreal could actually be a solid landing. Carter Hart to Montreal.
I've heard that. I've heard talks about that.
That would not be bad.
I want a 5th overall pick then. I want that 5th. I think Philly would want that 5th too.
Yeah. Well, I feel like maybe we'd have to move something else.
Give us our 5th, bitch.
Damn.
I think he would.
I think we could.
Like, in what world would we take Florida's pick? That's like 30th. Like, we would want that 5th.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of speculation.
All right. Thank you for joining Philadelphia Flyers talk.
Yeah, sure. Well, we could just make a whole podcast on Flyers.
Honestly.
Well, we should have. That went way longer than we expected. We're at 52 minutes. I thought this would be a short one, but nope. Yeah. Start talking about Philly. But anyways, is that all you got, Carter? We can keep talking.
As far as like rumors go, I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, that's all I have. I can't think of anything else that's really like big to talk about. Oh, Peter Laviolette.
Oh, Lavi.
Laviolette could be hired as the brand new coach of the New York Rangers. That was talked today. Weird. He's coached almost every team in that division. He's coached 5 of 8. I feel like what's left now is Columbus,
Pittsburgh,
and the
Islanders.
I feel like he coached the Islanders.
I don't think he did.
Devils?
Hang on. Now you got me looking this up. You talk about this.
I think it's Devils. But yeah, he's coached so many different teams. And honestly, I feel like it's just a weird reduce recycle. He's not bad, but it's boring.
Okay, are you ready?
Am I ready? I'm ready.
Islanders he's coached, Canes he's coached, Flyers he's coached, and Capitals he's coached. So he's coached 4 out of the 8.
But Rangers would be 5th.
Rangers would be 5, yes. So then he would need to complete his infinity gauntlet of the Metropolitan Division.
You saw that post from Bardner?
Did he make a post like that?
He made a post like that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
So yeah,
yeah.
All right. Oh, well. Now that's all we got. Anyways, thank y'all for listening or watching to this episode of the NordCast. We hope you enjoy. Make sure to leave a like and the subscribe button down below or give us a good review. We greatly appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully the next time we're on, Jack will be on with us, and we will most likely have our Stanley Cup champion. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.